Hello Furkies, this is day 54 of me playing chess every day until I reach the rapid rating of 2500. So here we go. We have the game, we have the white pieces once again. So pawn to e4 it is, we're playing against a pretty strong opponent, slightly over 2000 in rapid rating. And we get the Scandinavian once again. So let's take the pawn. And now knight f6 is his move. So pawn to d4 is kind of the best way of playing. I know this line. It's not. It is a gambit after pawn to f3 and c4. Do I wanna get into this? I don't think so. Just let me play bishop e2, which is just a normal, slow way of playing. Pawn to f3. I will show you the theory there, but it's not really good. So now knight takes. I mean, it is the best way of playing, definitely, but it is just very weird for me playing that position. So now knight c6, okay. He's trying to castle here on the long side, of course. I'm considering b3 and c4. Castles, I mean b3 castles d4. Let's say here d5 is probably the best. Or let's just develop with bishop e3 perhaps. And then c3 and knight e2 and knight f3, being slow and steady. Bishop, and then maybe attack him on the queen side when he castles. So castles it is. I could play knight f5. I don't know if it really helps me. Perhaps better way is to just consolidate with knight d2. Although there is knight g4. No, there is not, because knight f5. Oh, there is knight takes here attacking the queen. Knight takes here, takes, rook takes. He should be up a piece. So what about pawn to h3, just preventing this idea. And then h4, h5, I'm blocking. I mean, it is a hook, but you cannot really play g4. So, and knight gets to f3 as well. And to f4. So yes, let me play h3, preventing knight g4. Oh, that's something I, of course, have missed. Pawn to e5, it's a very good move. But there is knight c3 and then... That's actually a good move. Why? Of course, I cannot take the pawn, because queen takes here. Rook takes, just wins a rook. Knight c3, he'll probably play something like queen b5. After queen b5, I think c3 is the best way. Takes, and then knight takes, and then queen takes. And that of course won't happen. So just c3, maybe queen c2, maybe rook d1 in the future. He could play bishop to c5. Okay, still cannot take. But after you take, really, here. Oh, maybe there bishop c5. I can take. But also pawn takes and knight c3 is fine. That's in inside. Yes, pawn c5, pawn d4. Opening the c file as well. God bless me, excuse me. Yes, just pawn takes and knight c3. If knight takes, I probably have to take back with the queen, but I'm fine. If knight takes, bishop takes, for example, just c5. There is bishop c5, but knight c3 is probably just okay. So I don't think that's too bad for me. Just a second. Everything is fine with the video, so let's continue. So my opponent played bishop d6. Excuse me if the audio was or the recording was something wrong. OBS just crashed here, but okay. So let's play now on bishop d6, probably knight c3, which after queen a5, I guess. No, queen h4 is also a move. But knight c3 couldn't be more natural, so let's just develop with knight c3. And this move, bishop d6, I mean, you have put your bishop on this long diagonal. And I have the isolated queen pawn that can be blockaded, but this queen is somewhat weird here. That is something I missed. Queen f5 was not on my radar. Knight g3 probably bishop takes. F takes, attacking the queen. I don't like that. So let's proceed. Maybe a4 and a5. Knight b5. Hangs a piece, of course. Let's not do that. What else can we try? Rook c1 is there, definitely. g4, g5 coming, so that might not be the best way. Rook c1, g5, and queen c2. Trying to trade off pieces, and then if pieces get traded off, then this pawn is kind of weak here. Let's play rook c1 here. And I'm down on the clock a lot, but it doesn't quite matter that much. King b8. King b8 is nice. Nothing special going off the c file. But now I'm starting to get worried for my opponent. Why I can push, and then when knight goes probably back to e7. Could play queen d4. b6 only move. Knight b5 there. Queen takes. Not the best yet, but this still looks pretty amazing. b6, maybe not knight b5, but just slowly rook f1, rook d1, excuse me. Yes, let's push. There is knight e5 though, but this looks even better. b6 and then knight b5 is possible. And then here and here. Maybe I'm overestimating my position. Knight b4, still go here. b6, I could then go knight b5 because I'm threatening here and here. But then still queen takes. It's probably just fine for my opponent. But yes, we'll see. a6 now. Ooh, that's a move I missed. But I don't think it makes a lot of sense. The first thing you need to be aware of is that I can take the knight. And I probably will take the knight. Bishop h2 is an idea. But king takes, rook takes, and rook fd1. Pawn takes, and I have two pieces and a rook for a queen, which should be just winning, and this a6 pawn is very weak here. These double pawns here on the c file are bad. Let me think. I will have a knight and a bishop and a rook for a queen. So let's just do this. Just pawn takes knight. Bishop takes, not takes, but bishop h2, just king takes. Rook takes, rook takes. And then I have two knights, bishop and a rook. Not two knights, but knight, bishop and a rook for a single queen here. And a pawn on c6, which will be bad, definitely. And if you don't do bishop h2, then queen b3. And here, and bishop takes b6 if b6, and then checkmate. So bishop h2 only move. I don't know why my opponent is thinking. But yes, this is the only move in the position, definitely. I don't think he has any other options but to do this. But it simply gives too much material away. And knight g3 coming, knight e4, rooks on the 7th rank, rooks on the 8th rank perhaps. Yes, you don't have a choice, I believe. Bishop h2, only move if you play something like bishop f4. I'm sorry, just queen b3. Oh, checkmate is threatened. I don't know what to say, actually. Probably he just blundered that I get so much material for a single queen. Yes, bishop h2, king takes, rook takes, rook takes, this rook, right? Yes. There is no good check. You probably have to take this pawn. And then I probably slide my knight to d4. You play b6, which is weird. This is very weird. You wanna pick it up with your queen, but that's kinda impossible. I control too many squares. If I go here, queen e6 is possible. Which probably loses the pawn for me. But there is rook d5. No, it's not. Knight d4 still possible. What about like rook d4? Followed by rook d1, giving this pawn away. Having a lot of counterplay. If I can get rid of this knight, then probably I'm just fine. Here, where can the knight actually go? It cannot go anywhere practically. I mean, knight e4, I just take it. Knight g3 to follow. Bishop takes g7. Yes, bishop d4 now. Knight h5, I play g4. So my f2 pawn will be weak then. But that's just how the world is like. I mean, perhaps even king g1 back. Perhaps. And my rooks come to d7, to d1, to d8. Knight goes to d5, pressuring c7, pressuring knight e7. Knight d5 just takes, queen takes, and just here. Which just doesn't work because of check. Knight g3 takes. It probably still does work somehow. You play rook e8, which is fine, I guess. There is a move knight g3 here. Then simply bishop takes. Should force the issue. So let's play knight g3. Stepping off the e-file that my opponent has currently. But just bishop takes next move. If you play something like queen f4, I could potentially play bishop e3. But why? I could just take here and then play rook d7. The e2 square is taken from the rook. Taken by my knights, of course. Just rook here, rook here. Yes, and my two knights will win the game. I believe so. Queen f4, yes. Knight e2 is there. Am I forcing him to do something stupid? Knight e2 just... Oi. There is a pin here, so that's not too good. There is knight d5. Which after... Well, this looks kinda nice. Sacking here. I have 8 minutes and I have... knight d5 just takes. Well, let's just take here and that's the end of the story. Queen takes, then f2 is attacked. You take back like this. Wow. King g1. I can't even play here because my rook is hanging. What about this maneuver? I do like it. Rook c2. And rook d1. I'm defending. That's some problems for me, but I could still go to g1 here. And King G1 here and knight F1. Doesn't look too good, but what has been done? Oh my, I could just go to E2 actually. um, without any sort of problems. Yes, knight E2 now. Rook takes, knight take, doesn't matter. Knight E2 and rook D2, pressuring everything. And his kingside pawns are also quite weak here, which might be somewhat important in the future. I mean, he would probably try to play like queen g5 now, like something like this. But I think I am fast enough to get something of his attacking look, if we put it that way. My pawn is always defended with some knight d5 ideas. Maybe knight there is also a possibility. Not quite sure yet, because rook d8 is prevented. You play queen c4. Well, that's a move. Let me think. The pawn is probably just lost. Knight d5. Rook d8. Here. Knight f3. So knight d5 it is. Rook e2 doesn't work because of the knight. Knight d4. Let's do this. Knight d4. I still have quite some time actually. 7 minutes and a half should be enough to be okay. Rook g2 actually. Rook g8, excuse me, not rook g2. Now, well, there is a move that I could play like knight e4. Knight here and... Oh, I'm getting mated. Come on. Knight here, probably here is the only move, so... You could take on a2. Here. Here. Come on. It doesn't work. Rook d2 it is. I guess. I am pinned here, so h3 is undefended. I need to take care of this as well. b5. b5 is a move, but knight f3. Then also my knight is undefended here because of this pin. Maybe king h1 will need to be played. Maybe here when he played h5, maybe king h1 was actually better. But I guess f2 was undefended there, so I guess this doesn't work either. But yes, we will see knight f3 and rook d. Do I want to trade rooks? I'm not sure. This looks like a mistake. I could play like rook c2. Queen has to move, but where does the queen go? Because knight b5 is a check now. I'm seeing a really nice tactic. Knight b5 anyway. Here, rook d4. Where do we go? Probably you can go to c5, which is bad. Yeah, that definitely doesn't work. I can't play knight f3 because my pawn hangs. Rook d3. There is a3. I guess a3 playing slowly. Not allowing any queen takes when knight moves. Just 94, probably my next move. I'm going to attack f6 or something. Like that. Queen here then probably still is just okay for my opponent. But b5 looks really insane. Here, here, here. It is just fine, probably. Probably I need to defend this mate here, I don't know how. Here also attacks the mate. Rook d3 and b3 traps the queen. No, it doesn't. It can go here. Before here. F3 pins me, so that's not good. But yes, knight f3 doesn't work. King h1. b4 just takes. And probably f3 or... No, rook g1 is too passive. Maybe knight e2 and knight f4 could be a possibility in defending. Like queen c5, which I don't understand. I guess no knight f5. But I have here actually. Wait, what? I go here and play something like f3. Rook g6. He's trying to go here probably. That's probably the best I have. And f3. Activating my knights as I can. Queen h5 loses. But yes, I think I'm fine here. Yes, I don't know what to say. Queen e5 played, attacking the knight. That's a move I missed, if I'm completely honest. If I can take my pawn, that would be amazing, but I cannot do that. Knight f3 here. Here, does it trap the queen? Of course not. Knight c3 back. I think that's just the most solid way to play. If queen b5, just f3. Again, going here. And then again here, but then I have something. Something else that I can try, like knight b3 and going here. Or something like that. Going to d7. Or now probably even if here knight f3 takes, I could just sack this pawn here. Then go here. And he takes and go here. And knight d5 and take. That would be awesome. Knight f3 also takes this pawn. But here knight f3 here takes is pretty risky. Because checkmate is threatened. It is defended. But not for long, I would say. Because rook h8, if I could go knight f3 there. And probably rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes here. Can be like a perpetual. Or something. Probably not checkmate, but I only have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. I will try to play quickly. The game will probably end soon. Why? Because either I will try to push for a win. Wow, that's a bold move to play. Just knight f3. Win here. Queen c5. The rook d5. You take here. That's pretty bad. So queen c5. Cannot really. I could play knight e4, but then queen here. Also defends everything. So here. What will be my move? Queen c5. Played. I could play a4 and then take here, which I'm gonna do. a4, b4. Quite bad. Well, I have check. King takes and then here. King goes back. Anything I have, anything there. I could go check and here. Let's do check. Then just go knight f6. And I think it should be fine. Ooh! I'm seeing a really hot tactic. If king takes, I play rook c2. Queen take. Oh my goodness, rook c2. Here, and takes. Oh my god, I sack the rook. Sack the rook and play knight d5 check. And should be up a piece. For a pawn. I should be winning. Oh my goodness, such a beautiful tactic. And even here I could go just knight b4 and pick up like this. Being up 2 pawns. Oh my goodness, so what a brilliant move. Probably this is the best move of the whole series until I did the rapid rating of 2500. I expect nothing less than resignation right here on the spot. There's nothing else. Rook c2 is so cold-blooded. Just rook takes here. I am perfectly fine. Just b4. Here I go knight b6. Knight e3 better. Here I still can take here. This is resignable. That's so brilliant move. Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of myself. Just what's the best check? Here. I mean, being up 2 knights should be fine, right? Rook d8. My opponent resigns. GG. I think this was pretty great game. So let's game review the game. I like that phrase actually. Game review the game. We will see how accurately we both played. And yes, I played with 93.5% accuracy, which is pretty high. My opponent played with 85, which is still very nice. Let's analyze the game now. And e4 it was, d5 the Scandi I took, and knight f6. If queen takes, of course, knight 3, just d4, which is fine for white. But knight f6 is kind of the modern way of playing. I played d4. There is c4 as well, but that's not as popular because of c6. Takes, I think, is not that good because knight takes and this pawn cannot move forward. It's not the best, so just d4. Trying to develop my pieces here. Bishop g4 was played. This is the gambit, and the best way is to push f3. I don't like it because I think bishop f5, excuse me, bishop f5, yes. You here need to push. I thought c4 was the move, but apparently firstly g4, bishop g6, and c4 now. And you can see, I mean, this look just... It is +1 apparently by the computer, but I don't like expanding my pawns too quickly. So let's just I just played bishop e2, bishop takes, I took back with the knight, which is fine, and queen takes. Now castles, of course, the g2 pawn was under attack here. Now knight c6 and bishop e3. Castles, of course, long castles. I played h3, which is a mistake. I should have played like knight d2. Oh, preparing c4 red was logical. But yes, h3, e5. Now pawn to c3, which is a great move. Of course, if I play anything else, like knight c3, then probably just queen a5, even queen e6 is a possibility. I cannot take if I go here. Well, I just lose a pawn in the center of the board. I lose the game, so pawn to c3, pretty easy move to find. E takes, c takes, of course, clearing the square for my knight. Bishop d6 and knight c3. And now queen h5 was something I was expecting. My opponent played queen f5, which was not that great. It was still fine. I played rook c1. He played king b8, and I played d5. And after d5, I thought I was just much better. Why? If you play something like knight e7, for example, I could play queen d4. That was my idea, I will be honest. b6 looked really nice for me. Queen a4 with some ideas like this. I thought I was fine here, but the engine says after knight e7, knight b5 right away is better. Of course, attacking the a7, of course, that's something I missed. But after d5, my opponent casually played a6, and now it is +3. And I found the correct move. I sacked my queen, rook takes d1, and rook takes back. b6 was the best move. Bishop d4, trying to trade off pieces like bishop takes on f6. My opponent took with the g-pawn, which kinda surprised me. Rook c2, trying to play rook d2. Now rook d2 is, of course, I wouldn't call it a losing blunder, but h4, it's not that great. So I played king g1, which was fine. h4 and knight d2 anyway. Queen c5, I played knight d4, rook g8, rook d2, a3. b5, kinda trying to play king b6, I guess that was an idea. Now king h1, clearing some tricks here with some sacrifices when my king was still on g1. So queen c5, I played knight e4, he played queen to e5, now I played knight c3 back, he played king b6, and I played knight f3. Queen c5, I'm winning here after knight e5 check, he took back with the king, and now the cold-blooded rook c2, sacrificing the rook, and of course if queen takes, simply knight b4 is a fork. And of course I am forky chess, so now you have to subscribe to this royal fork. No, I'm just kidding, but rook c2 is just an amazing move. Rook d8, I just take and play b4 here, and here is where my opponent resigned. So we finally win yet another game on our way to achieving 2500 in repitonchess.com. And if you have anything to tell me, please let me know in the comments below. I will be reading and answering all of your comments. And if you like the video, please consider subscribing, it would really help me out. And see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye!